stay? Do you stay in San Francisco? Do you stay in San Jose, Santa Clara? My strong recommendation is to stay in San Francisco. Obviously, if you try to stay in the city of San Francisco itself, there's a ton of hotels. It's going to be expensive. It's the Super Bowl. So you may want to consider staying either in Oakland at the Marriott, downtown Oakland. There's actually 2 of them that are within 2 blocks of the subway system that crosses the bay, the BART. So you can easily just hop on BART and go over to San Francisco that way and have a night out in San Francisco. They also have better parking than some of the hotels in San Francisco do. So you can park there and drive to the game down in Santa Clara. And then there's another really nice hotel in Berkeley, right on the Berkeley-Oakland border, called the Claremont Resort. That's a really nice upscale hotel if that's a thing you enjoy, with fantastic views of San Francisco and the Bay and the Golden Gate. And it's really a lovely hotel. I acknowledge I'm totally biased. I'm a huge San Francisco fan, but I'll just say on the weekend that I went to the 49ers game earlier that week, they had like a huge rave in the streets, great DJs. It was in the middle of the day, in the middle of the street. They blocked off, 4 or 5 blocks to have 8 or 9 DJ stages. It was pretty incredible experience. And it's the kind of thing that only San Francisco really does. Only San Francisco really delivers that kind of great party atmosphere, party energy. And the cool thing about this one, like the age range, there was a huge age range. There were people in their 70s. There were people in their early 20s. Like everybody was out there partying in the street, having a really good time. You could see the people in stills. It was wild. It was super fun, and I definitely recommend the San Francisco vibe. I went to a Giants game earlier this year, and on that weekend they had the Folsom Street Fair, which, don't Google that at work. I'm just tell you that right now. It's a pretty wild thing that people, and huge party in the streets, and it is definitely for adults. It is definitely not safe for work. It's a pretty incredible street experience, and definitely the kind of thing that only San Francisco delivers. So San Francisco has that side, but then San Francisco also has the fine dining experience. Now, of course, you have your super upscale, fancy, very trendy, 3-star Michelin restaurants and all that sort of stuff. San Francisco delivers that for sure. But it also has like one of the most iconic, really one of the greatest steakhouses I've ever been to. It's called House of Prime Rib. I actually think even Anthony Bourdain, I know Anthony Bourdain loved House of Prime Rib also, and talked about how cool it was.
House of Prime Rib. The aroma of roasted beef hangs heavy in the air.
Look at this one. It's packed. This is a temple of old school meat. This is everything that's unfashionable, everything that's wrong, everything that's just and here it is. We're still there. This is the second place I've been with you today that I would be honored to die in.
And, you get this huge piece of prime rib, and the menu is very simple. Prime rib, that's on the menu. There's no chicken, there's no fish. The entree is prime rib. I don't know what vegans do. You don't go there if you're a vegan. Like if you're a vegan, this is not a place for you. But the service is great. You get these, it is absolutely the best value in cocktails in San Francisco, because you get at least 2 cocktails for the price of 1, maybe 2.5, maybe 3 cocktails. So be careful ordering too many. Like I went one day, I had ordered a cocktail while I waited for my friends. My friends showed up. They bought me one. Now you're getting a little, that was, a little much. So, and then, I don't know, I probably had another one in there somewhere. And now it's very hard to get in to House of Prime Rib. It's very hard to get a reservation because it is a classic, iconic spot. However, if you get there right at 5, you can certainly get a seat at the bar. And if you get there later than 5, you can have a couple drinks at the bar and wait for there to become space at the bar. They only serve meals at the bar itself. So, but you can have cocktails while you wait. And as I said before, cocktails are a great value. Now, if you decide that you don't want to go there, you can just walk down the street, and there's another great steakhouse maybe 2 blocks away called Harris Steakhouse. And that one is great. It's a little bit more upscale. It has a much more diverse menu. It's not just prime rib. It's not just steak. but they definitely have a very good steak, and it's much more of a sort of a classic steakhouse kind of a place, in that the quality of the food is good. And San Francisco has a Japanese steakhouse. San Francisco, if you like steak, San Francisco is actually a really great place for steak, which I know you wouldn't really think of that as San Francisco being a great place for steak, but I think it has 3 or 4 Japanese steakhouses actually. But it's fantastic. So now let's see. San Francisco, obviously, you have heard about, the problems that the city has had with people on the street and the fentanyl crisis, and like all of that is true. That's all real stuff. The mall, it will be closed by the time the Super Bowl comes. There was a great big mall that was there. I mean, I will say San Francisco suffered from having the highest vacancy rate of office space anywhere of any major city in the world, coming out of the pandemic. So that's a pretty significant thing. From a city that had 0 vacancy, it was very hard to get office space, to having over a 35% vacancy rate in office space, and even fewer people actually coming into the city. So a bunch of the retail businesses that really relied on that foot traffic really suffered. And so that's a real thing. That's true. The city is turning around. Mayor Breed before and Mayor Lurie have worked very hard, who's the current mayor, to turn the city around, and it is definitely turning around. So there you'll still see some dark spots, but all in all, it's definitely still a great time. It still has its iconic Lombard Street, the Golden Gate Bridge, obviously, the cable cars, all of that stuff is still there. So you haven't been to the city and experienced these things yet, I highly recommend it. Super fantastic things to do. And yeah, so let's talk a little bit about going out in San Francisco for cocktails, not just eating at steakhouses. So there's just a great cocktail scene. So for example, I and my friends, we went out one night for drinks in the city, and we hit 3 different bars, and they were all within 2 blocks of each other, and they all had really excellent cocktails. So we hit the Lost Resort first, and when you go to the Lost Resort, it's a classic cocktail bar. They've got nice little sides for you to have, really good drinks. Then we hit another place called Trick Dog, and it has a custom menu. Every time you go, the menu is a little different because they change the menu, I think, every 6 months, and they introduce 6 or 12 unique cocktails every 6 months. So every time you go, obviously they can make a regular drink, they can make a gimlet, they can make a whiskey sour, they can make those things for you. But if you are willing to be creative, they have drinks that have like salmon roe in them, and it's really a very cool spot. And then around the corner from there is another place called True Laurel, and True Laurel had great cocktails, but the food is actually, that's where we had decided to eat. The food there was really great. They had these delicious salads, but then they also had like breakfast food. We had this thing that was like pancakes for breakfast, but it was dinner time. Who doesn't love breakfast for dinner? So True Laurel, that was all super delicious. San Francisco ain't cheap. I'm just going to be honest with you. You're going to see on your menu, you'll see prices are probably will be a little bit higher in the menu than they are in other parts of the country. Also, there is a 6% fee for that called San Francisco mandates, which to me, like every time I see it on my receipt, I'm annoyed because it basically says you would be an asshole and not pay a good wage to your workers if the city didn't make you. You wouldn't have health care and health benefits for your workers if the city didn't make you. That's basically what that 6% fee that they're adding to my bill on top of all the things that they've already charged me. That's what that 6% fee represents as far as I'm concerned. So that's just my little political diatribe. But all in all, great place to visit. Recommend a night out of drinking, a night out of steaks, a night out of hitting the various tourist spots. North Beach, for sure, some great little divey bars in the North Beach area. And then San Francisco has 2 legit comedy clubs. The Punchline, which is an iconic comedy club, has been around a long time. After Dave Chappelle left his show on Comedy Central, he did many nights at the Punchline. And so he would do these nights at the Punchline and would stay till like 5 a.m. working through his material. And so some friends of mine were there, in fact, when he was doing this, and they were there. He was there until 5 a.m. And then he took like the last straggler people who were still there. They all went out for breakfast together with Dave Chappelle. So like it is a super, great atmosphere. So that's the Punchline. And then there's another one, Cobb's Comedy Club. I don't want to leave out Cobb's. Cobb's is dope too. Not quite as iconic as the Punchline. Like, I think Robin Williams used to regularly perform at the Punchline when he was still alive. So, these are just a few of the many things you can do when you're in San Francisco. So, great city, great place to visit, great place to watch sports. So, of course, we're going to have Milanote link for you, so you can get maps to all the different places that I talked about in the video. Great places to have drinks, hotels we suggested. That's all going to be in Milanote to make it nice and easy for you. So make sure you check that out. And then you'll just do the drive down to Santa Clara and watch the game in Santa Clara. Thanks for watching.
See the world one game at a time. Travel, sports, dignity. From city streets to stadium seats. This is A Gentleman's Guide to Awesome.